Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Kat. I'm a wife, a homeschool mom, and an avid reader. Here we are at the end of September. We have one full week left, and it finally kind of feels like fall right now. As someone who's lived here in the South for over a half of her life, I know that this is fake fall. But part of me really hopes that it's not going to be fake fall and the weather will stay like this. It's beautiful outside and it's a little bit cooler. So I was able today at work to pull out my flannel um, and wear that all day, with the exception of the very end of the day when we were resetting the school to get it set for church. Um, I am going to spend this most of this vlog focusing on some titles that I want to read for book clubs. The first book that I am getting ready to start is or that I have started. I read a few pages at school today. Is Paradise Club by Tim Meyer. This one is following a family who have won this exclusive trip to the Paradise Club. It's an exclusive island that very few people even know about. And this family really is excited for this. They've been dealing with um, the husband has injuries from his job, and it's phantom pains right now. Is at least that's how his wife's describing it. But his job is hunting down serial killers and the things that you scare the rest of us. This is a horror thriller, so I do not know much more about this book right now. If you have been around here for a while, you know that I go into thrillers mostly blind. I have had a few times in the past where I have read the synopsis and kind of been spoiled on what's going to happen in the book. Or after reading that, I can kind of guess the overall idea of what is the overall plot of where the book is going. And there will be, yes, a few details that I didn't see coming, but it takes some of the enjoyment out of it. So I am going to read this one. This is for Book Club Unlimited. So it is available on Kindle Unlimited, and I already have it downloaded, and I have read about 2% so far. The chapters seem to be really long, but that'll be okay. With reading it on the Kindle, I won't have that same feel of I have to get to a good stopping point, because it'll hold my spot. So I am going to get reading, and we're going to eat dinner and do all the family stuff tonight, and then see where this weekend takes us. I'll check in later. Hello everyone, so I am about 15% through, and as you can tell, I am in bed. I'm gonna lay here and read probably for maybe 15-20 minutes. I would love to get part 1 done and then continue from there tomorrow, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I am kind of tired, had a long day after having a long night last night. So, we're just gonna take it as it is. I'm really enjoying this. We're starting to get snippets of what's going on and why everyone was invited to this Paradise Club. So, I'm gonna get back to it and I will check in tomorrow. Night all. Hello everyone. So today's been kind of a fun day. You'll see, well, maybe you've seen. My husband and I went to Barnes & Noble. We had a lot of fun. He was my cameraman, and so it's just kind of nice to get out sometimes and be silly and have fun. So we did that today, and I am reading Paradise Club. I did not get part 1 done, and that's okay. I kept falling asleep, so I put it to the side and I went to bed. But now I'm gonna get started back on it. I am making pizza tater tot casseroles for dinner. So I'm excited for those. Their last time they turned out amazing. So we're gonna have that for dinner and just kind of have a chill night tonight is the hope. And just kind of go from there. So I will check in soon. Hello everyone. I really hope that this is somewhat in frame. I've had to prop my camera a little bit because I have been listening to Paradise Club. I'm over 25% through, really enjoying it, but I did go ahead and get the audiobook for it so that I could crochet these cute little pumpkins. So I've done 4 little pumpkins. I'm gonna do some little ghosties to go with it. And I'm not quite 100% sure how I'm going to connect everything, because I have this board on my wall that I normally put up some sort of seasonal decoration. Well, I am really good at Christmas at putting up my snowmen. But snowmen don't have to go away when I put away the Christmas tree. So I leave them up through February and inevitably forget to pack them up. Currently, it is September, end of September, and I still have snowmen on my wall hanging. So I thought I would do, I knew that was gonna happen. Alright, so I did these little pumpkins and the ghosties, but with doing the ghosties, I'm only gonna want them up for October. And then November, I can just have pumpkins. But so now I have to figure out how I'm going to have it where the ghosties can come off of the chain that I crochet for these to go on, without damaging anything and replacing them with pumpkins. But for now, we're gonna do some ghosties. So I'll check in soon. I guess I probably should take a moment and update on my book before I get too far. The skirmish has begun and things are very gross right now. This is definitely a horror, and it is definitely a slasher horror. I haven't read very many of these because this is what I've always pictured when I hear horror, and it kind of grosses me out and freaks me out. Leads to crazy dreams, the whole 9 yards. But I'm really enjoying the writing of this one and the premise. So it sounds very much like it's going to kind of follow the "and then there were none" idea, the one by one trope, except on a mass scale. It's one by one, kind of on the points of view that we meet in the story. But it's not one by one for the whole island. So, really enjoying it, having a great time. Definitely glad that I have the audio, because I think I would put the book down if I were reading it. So that's an update on Paradise Club. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. I am on part 3. So it's broken up into sections. You have the arrival, you have the skirmish, and now the ceremony. I don't know exactly what this means, but we're gonna find out. There are some interesting characters in this. So we know we're following an FBI man, and his family, well, his kids, and then you have a few other of the characters that we kind of see them meet up with at different times. And I'm really enjoying it, but we do get the point of perspective of some of the people in the control room. And so it's kind of an interesting feel, because you don't know why you're getting this point of view. But I'm excited to keep going. This puts me at, I think it was like 60% of the book. So I'm going to keep working on my little ghosties. They are not in any way done right as they are. That one is not done. It's just the outside. It'll have a little hat. It'll be cute. But it's just, I'm gonna work on those, drink some coffee, and I had to put my sprints back on from last night because I turned them off before before I could see who the special guest was on Lexi's sprints. A lot of fun, really funny, great guest, and everyone's reactions were priceless. So I'm gonna go, I'm gonna read, drink some coffee, enjoy my quiet time because my kid is already down at her Nana's house. So I will check in later. So I have gotten my little ghosty pumpkin garland done. These guys turned out so incredibly cute. And it works out well for my little wall of my daughter's pictures that we have at the front door. We've had it here since she was like 2 years old. So I love it. Turned out super cute, and I am excited for the holiday season coming up. One thing I will say with those little garlands is I did not make the ghosts detachable because the pumpkins weren't really that hard to make. I did all 4 of those in about an hour, so I figured to do 7 of them, it won't take me any time. So I may just have a day later, probably sometime toward the end of October, where I just crochet 7 little pumpkins, and then I have one for the for October and one for November. But I'm really excited. It turned out super cute. I just love them. Yeah. So, all that being said, I did finish Paradise Club, and that took a really weird turn. If you watch a lot of horror, you probably would have expected it. I did not. It was odd. I could totally see this being a movie, though. And hearing the author's note at the very end kind of helped me to understand how some of this came about. But I would really recommend saving that author's note until the very end, because I think it would skew how much you enjoyed the book. So, Paradise Club, lots of fun. I have no idea what I'd give it stars. It very enjoyable, very well written. I enjoyed it. It's not my normal genre, is the only takeaway I have from it, but even at that, it wasn't so gross that I couldn't enjoy it either. So why not? Let's give it 5 stars. And then up next, I'm debating. I think what I'm going to do next is Ascension and try to get through that today and tomorrow, because the live show for Ascension is tomorrow night, and I haven't been able to come live to very many of the book clubs that I've been watching on YouTube, just because I'm not finishing them in time. So I'm gonna jump on this. I'm gonna get Ascension, pull Ascension out and start reading it, and then oh goodness gracious, and then go from there. I do not have the audiobook for this one, which is fine, but I'm gonna start reading it and then figure out. I do know it's some sci-fi thriller. A group goes to climb a mountain and things go weird from there. I don't know a whole lot about it, because like with many of my books that are thrillers, I don't like to find out too much. So I'm gonna stop talking about it and go grab the book and get started, and then I'll kind of give you an update. So I will talk soon. Hello everyone. So I have just read the little, I guess, preface to Ascension, and we're going to be following a man named Harold. He wrote these letters to his niece in 1991, and in 2020, I guess, or in the more recent times, his brother has come across these letters and has compiled them into a book. And so we're kind of reading this account through Harold's letters of what happened to him in 1991. The very start of this book was a little weird. I wasn't not interested, but it took me several pages before I got past the let me explain the background type thing, and we get to some of the events going on in that first little part, and you're like, oh, okay. And then it really started to pique my interest. So I am excited to keep reading this and find out what in the world Harold did that basically made him go crazy. So I'm gonna keep reading, and I will check in with you guys later. Hello everyone. So I am about 100 pages in. It's 350 pages, so just probably a little over a quarter of the way through. I am really pulled into this story. There's a lot of kind of technical speak in it, and so it's kind of fun to see the different perspectives, or different perspectives is the wrong word, the different specialties that are in the book, because everything is from Harold's perspective. They are currently, or they're just got to base 1, and it seems that Harold is starting to experience some of the adverse side effects that are coming with being in contact with this mountain. So it's just a very interesting story, and the way that the author has presented it, I'm really enjoying it being in letter form, or like a diary. A diary is probably really more of what it is. It's just addressed to his niece. And it's really interesting to see different aspects of Harold's life. He has a few kind of flashback type journal entry or journaling spots where he remembers back to like when he was a doctor, and everything, like I'm not struggling. I am seeing Harold in a slightly different light as we learn more and more about him. His in the preface, we have his brother kind of describing him and how he's aloof and everything. But the more and more that I'm reading, it's almost like the author is portraying him as somewhere on the autism spectrum. He's very brilliant. Without the, repeating things and things like that, it's like he has that really, I guess that would be, Rain Man would be a really bad example because it is very different. But like the social aspects that we're seeing are kind of an interesting thing. But I'm really enjoying this book. I am enjoying it so much. And hearing Harold like describe himself as not fitting into everyone else, but still wanting to connect was just kind of an interesting aspect to his character. My brain is, as you can tell, kind of bouncing from thought to thought because there's so much in this book. But I am going to get back to it. I'm really, really enjoying it. How much longer I'll stay up, I don't know. We'll just kind of have to play it by ear. It's 8:15 right now, so it's not super late. I probably could get maybe, another third of the book read. But we'll have to wait and see. And I will check in soon. Hello everyone. So it is Tuesday evening. I grabbed my GoPro to go to fellowship groups this weekend because we were at the beach, and I thought I might get some video of my kid, but then I didn't, and then I left it in the van all day Monday, and then remembered it was in there this morning. So I am still reading Ascension. I'm about 2/3 of the way through. I'm on page 220. I'm really enjoying it, but I kind of wish I would have known some of the things I know now about it, because I think I would have read it at a slightly different time. Now granted, I was reading it because I was at the deadline to watch the discussion live, but that didn't happen. So I'm gonna get back to it. I am kind of drained, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Yeah, so I'm gonna get reading, and hopefully I can finish this maybe even tonight, and then that way tomorrow I can do some editing and listening to The Drowned Girls, which is the Literature Book Club pick. I think it's the Literature Book Club pick. So I'm gonna read, and I will check in later. Hello everyone. I have just finished Ascension, and oh my goodness, that was an interesting read. I really enjoyed it. I had some moments where I kind of struggled with it because there were some parts that either got too technical or were too reminiscent of, or they were reminiscent enough of Paradise Club that I was wondering where this was going. But I had a great time with it. I am obviously gonna go to bed soon. But I am curious to sit down tomorrow and watch the Pyramid Book Club's thoughts on this book. I really did enjoy it though, and my mind is kind of still reeling. So I am going to end here for tonight, and tomorrow morning I will start The Drowned Girls while I clean house. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Hello everyone. So I have started The Drowned Girls. Just finished chapter 3. And I am unsure what to think. We have a detective, and that's what we're following, is this female detective. And it starts out, once you get past the intro of the book, it starts out with her helping her dad move her mom into a psychiatric ward. And talking to her dad about like how when he started seeing signs for her mom having a psychotic break, specifically schizophrenia. And that's one of those mental illnesses that set in normally mid-30s, and that's where she's at in her life now. And her mom had a very mild form for the most part until dementia set in. Before she ended up being diagnosed with dementia, she was taking her meds. Meds were controlling it. And it wasn't that she was harming anyone. She was just seeing things that weren't there. Well, now we have Angie, who's just moved her mom in to this psychiatric ward, and she thinks she sees something. So I'm not sure if we're seeing like a possible psychotic break in her. But we go from very wholesome in the first chapter. The second chapter, she's a little crazy. And then the third chapter, like, if I saw her, I would not believe that she was a police officer. Had the book not told me in chapter 1 and chapter 2 that she was a police officer, that she was a detective specifically, I would not have thought that her character was that. She just really raises red flags for me in this. And our dinner's done. I'll have to go stir it and add more in a minute. But it's odd. And I am glad it's a book, because there's things going on there that I don't need to think about in real life happening, because it is a lot. But I'm enjoying it so far. I have found that even I have the audiobook from Kindle Unlimited, and I am listening to it, but I'm also having to follow along somewat. Because of the speed I have it on, some of the words the narrator says gets kind of muddled, and there have been a couple times that like I've had to stop crocheting for a minute to find the place on the page, because it's distracting and you aren't quite sure what she just said. So I am crocheting. I just have one row right now left of my genre blanket so far for the month of September. I've done a much better job this month keeping up, but I need to go finish dinner. So Drowned Girls, the start is really intense, and if you don't like your romance to start off with a bang, this probably isn't for you, but it is an interesting concept. And so I'm gonna go finish our dinner and then keep reading, and I will check in later tonight. Hello everyone. So it is Thursday night. I am at 25% into the Drowned Girls. This is an interesting story. We have had Angie's perspective throughout most of the book, and she's the like SVU detective, and we've also had Detective Maddock, who's the homicide detective. We've had his point of view several times, and apparently, well, it seems that we have the perspective of the killer as well, at least once so far. It's kind of this, I don't know, the vibe of this book is very interesting, but it's very different from what I normally would read. Police procedurals that I normally read, or detective stories, tend to be more along the line of the detective's point of view and the detective solving the case. This one doesn't quite give that same vibe. Yes, we have the detectives and they're trying to solve the case, but the case, while is the main thing, we have so much character-driven, we have so many character-driven aspects also happening. So we have Angie's kind of dilemma with her mom, and dealing with her grief from her last case, and then we have Maddox moved to a new town, trying to reconnect with his daughter, and so that plays a big role in it. And then you have the kind of connection that the two detectives have, and how they're going to work together through this. And then you have the sicko in the book, the serial rapist and murderer, and his whole thought process is really weird. Yeah, very interesting so far. So I'm going to keep reading. I am enjoying it. It's just kind of weird. I don't know exactly how to feel about it. So I'm going to keep going, and I will check in later. Hello everyone. So it is Friday. And I am actually having a pretty productive day today. Oops, I'm trying to save this file. I have done my Bible time. I have worked for an hour on lesson plans. I have cleaned my house. I have pretty much just been knocking things out. Some of that is motivation from my classes with my kiddos. In my Brain Max class, I have been trying to teach these upper middle school and high school students how to use a planner and different ways that we can use it. And this week we're focusing on the ABC method, which is just you list out your things and then you give them a letter, A, B, or C. A being things that have to be done today, B things that should get done today, and C things that you want to do but could be put off for a day or more. So doing that, like, I am feeling very motivated today to knock things out. So what I have left is working on editing this vlog some, and getting I'm listening to The Drowned Girls while I'm working today. So I have those two things to work on. I am still really enjoying The Drowned Girls. There's a lot going on right now, and I'm a little confused on some of the things going on, but the author intends that. As we're working through the book, things are coming to light that maybe that are going to lead the officers or the two detectives to these red herrings, I think. I may be wrong, and they may not be red herrings, but looking at what I'm seeing, because I get the point of view of these other characters as well, and I have a feeling that this one character that we had the point of view of, he's going to be pulled in as a suspect, just based on the little bit of information that's given. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm being a little bit vague, but really enjoying it and loving the twists that the book is trying to throw in. So I'm going to get to editing, and I will check in later. Hello everyone, it's just after 10 o'clock and I am 61% in, and things have gotten really, really good, but I kind of need to go to bed. So I'm going to stop here for tonight, and I have to leave Angie and Maddox where they are right now, because if not, I will be up all night reading
or well, however long the book has left, but that would not be good for my sleep habits or my mental health. So I'm gonna go on ahead and be a responsible grown-up and go to bed and continue this tomorrow, and hopefully have this vlog up the following day, because this book is wild. There are some things in this book that I was expecting, and some things in the book that I've kind of predicted, but not in the way that it's going. So I am definitely excited to keep reading this and find out what's going on in the end. So I will check in tomorrow. Hello everyone! So I have just finished The Drowned Girls. This book is very interesting. There's a lot of hard-hitting things in it. You have the rapes and the murders. And then you have like all of Angie's personal stuff that's going on. It's a very interesting read. I really enjoyed it, but this is not going to be a book for everyone. Just because of how many triggers are in it. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And there is a second book to this where we continue in following Angie. And the things that were revealed to her in this book lead to the second book, and her trying to continue to continue to pull pieces together. One thing with this book that I thought was interesting, and I'm not entirely sure if I like it or not, is the case is solved and taken care of, and then there's another like 45 minutes of audiobook left after that at 1.5 times 1.5 times speed. So there's a lot going on beyond just the Drowned Girls case. So yeah, I read 3 books this week, all 3 for book clubs, and all 3 books ended up connecting in one way or another. And it was just really fun to kind of see, and as I was listening, you have certain scientific tidbits that were in Ascension that, because I had read Ascension, I understood some of this that was going on in Drowned Girls. So it was really fun to see that these 3 connected in different ways all the way across. Yeah, so I had a great reading week, 3 books. I am happy with that. That puts me at a total of 8 books for the month of September, which is an average month for me, and is a really good September for me. Normally with school and starting everything up, reading ends up taking a backseat. But I am super excited for tomorrow and the start of Spookopoly, the Spookopolathon going on, hosted by Becca in the Books. So I am going to enjoy the rest of the evening and then start fresh tomorrow. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.